Hey, welcome back, guys. It's Rick with 45 News Utah, Western States Media, and Stop the Illness. We're going to do episode number 3. Free press, guys, free press. We're going to break down a little more about what was happening today and yesterday with Fouchi and an article out of The Hill. I watched the video. It was on YouTube. The Hill said the lab is a virology lab. Excuse me. It's been a pretty long day. So, okay, we all know that lab helps the gain of function from a virus that normally would not infect a human, would not be deadly, go from animal to human. These labs, which I've explained in previous videos, they help gain that function for the virus. They take the virus that's in an animal, and then they use mice and that have human cells that are in their genetic code, mainly the respiratory, throat, sinuses, that type of stuff. I don't know how they do it. I'm not a virologist. So anyway, but that's how they test this stuff. They get the virus souped up like COVID-19 was, or coronavirus, or SARS-CoV-2, whatever you want to call it, and they soup it up and they get it so it would be like its evil brother that had a 15% mortality rate, which I understand that came from a camel to a human. It was actually higher than 15. My studies back in the day, it seemed like it was about 40% mortality rate, much like Ebola. Anyway, so then they can work on this virus and get it stronger and get it so they can transmit it to a human, and they can find a way to stop it from ever becoming a pandemic if it ever did make the jump. Usually you have to take another animal in the middle. It's from whatever animal to this animal to humans. So this is what the lab was doing, and we all know that. We pretty much understand that, and that can have a beneficial thing to it, but it could also have a very deadly consequences to the human population and but basically most mammals on planet Earth. So let's get into this, because my allergies are tingling. I don't know why. Today is just one of those days. Down in the basement. Took the allergy pill a little too late, which makes me kind of loopy, by the way. So the lab helped the virus gain a function. For future pandemics. Anthony Fauci is the chief proponent of gain of function in the U.S. in the government of the United States. Let's see. Fauci helped overturn an Obama era ban on gain of function research for viruses. Now, Obama, I guess there have been 4 times that this type of research has been banned by previous administrations. Now, remember, Fauci worked frivolously during the Trump administration to get this because he was over virology in the U.S. He worked to get this overturned. That's per The Hill, okay? So this is just reading off of their stuff. Don't blame me. Don't blame me. So anyway, during the administration, he got that. So we have heard that they were working on SARS for bats, is what they were saying. We heard that's what the deal was. They had SARS for bats. They were working on getting it gain of function so it would go from bats to humans really easily. This lab was funded by Fauci or the taxpayers or whoever, I'm not going to say. But it went to a subsidiary. Basically, the money was funneled to, per Fauci, funneled to a secondary nonprofit and then to the lab. So, my nose is just bad. Sorry, guys. I don't know how I'm going to do the news like this, these allergies, but out of nasal spray. Anyway, so Rand Paul hearing, when he had a hearing with Dr. Fauci, NIH never directed funded funds to the lab. Now, never directly funded the lab. Never, that's what he's saying. The NIH did not ever fund the lab in Wuhan. So the lab in Wuhan, that's what they were doing, is they were studying gain of function and making viruses get gain of function to go from bats to humans without an intermediate host in the middle, like a feral whatever monkey cat something that they have to use to get it from the bat to the human. It'd be easier to move it that way. So they were doing this in Wuhan at the Wuhan virology lab. Ugh. So, but he sent the money to that nonprofit. That's what they're saying. So Dr. Fauci, Dr. Shi is the lady was in charge of this gain of function research, said that in her paper said Fauci funded this, that Fauci was a sponsor in the research that was going on in the Wuhan lab of virology. So, hey, there you have it. You know, that's what Rand Paul's upset about. He's like, wait a minute, this money is supposedly went there, but then in January they said there was a complete halt in the U.S. government or the NIH to the lab in Wuhan, January of last year of 2020. So there had to have been funds trading about, and that's where there had to have been something going, whether to a nonprofit then to there. So anyway, Fauci was in charge of this type of behavior. He was the one that was pushing for it. He was the one that was actually watching this happen. He may have donated to a nonprofit, but he did. If this did escape from the lab, now that's what this is all about. This is all about the fact that they're now looking into, which they were looking into, but the problem with the money that was paid to the people that were doing the investigation on if this was a possible lab leak back in the day was done by Echo Health, which was the people that was involved in getting the money to the lab in the first place, or second place from Fauci. So the people that were funding the nonprofit was sending the money there, and they were sent to investigate the possible leak of a virus that they're calling over, which is not over, and they're saying, well, the next time we have a virus, and the next time, but could be way worse. We're not done with the coronavirus. Not done. So anybody says any different, they're either misinformed or complacent, or with stocks and bonds and markets and watching their bottom line, because we are not. I repeat, under any circumstances, we are not done with this virus. We should be looking towards the future of what could happen. We need to focus on this. We've had a year and a half of this. We're all sick of it. Sick and tired of watching, hearing about it. You'll never hear about the virus in a way that they're going to tell you that's going to make you feel better about it, because everything they say is it's all got something attached to it that doesn't make it solid. It's always jello. They said this, and you're on jello, because they don't know what's going on. I'm telling you, the studies that have come out is watching this garbage all night, all evening. These are small test subjects, small test studies. So there is 10 labs in the United States that's doing this gain of function right now as we speak. So shut them down. I said in a previous video, newscast, I said that we should be dumping money into finding ways to stop the next pandemic. I suggest, as of today, this Biden or his administration calls up these 10 labs and says, shut it down. Kill everything you have. Nuke it. I don't care what you do. Just get it out. Gone. Done. So it is absolutely not alive. Lock the place down under armed guards. I don't care. Burn it, though. Every virus we have held these 10 labs needs to be done today. The reason why I say that is because of what's happening in India. We don't need a secondary outbreak. We don't need it. We already have outbreak happening now. The show outbreak. We have a mutation, a triple mutation now they're calling it. Okay, triple variant. It's always drunk on the word soup. We have a triple variant that nobody seems to know anything. It's already proving that it has the ability to avoid the human immune system, and it's already showing that we've lost 20%, possibly 50 to 60% of the vaccination immunity, which isn't immunity, it's just antibodies. It's just how it stops. It's not immunity. None of it's immunity. You're still going to get the virus. It doesn't matter what anybody says. You're still going to get it even if you're immunized. It's not about that. So we have to stop all the rest of that. And then we focus on what's actually happening. Let's get the guys over there take care of what's happening in India and do some real tests. Put those 10 labs to testing thousands of samples a day of COVID that's happening in America. Because guess what? Brazil's COVID variant, it's here. This triple mutation is here. Okay? It's here. And there's 10 others they're trying to keep a close eye on. Which there's in India. Let's see how many labs they have. They have 10 labs in India. There's like, 1.5 billion people in India? They have 10 labs keeping an eye on these COVID variants. That triple mutation, mutant variant, not mutation, mutant variant. 10. You had 10 bullets firing into a line of 1.5 million trillion people on the opposing army. You're trying to figure out which way to hit with your 10 bullets. That's a drop in the bucket. That, they could, even if they were at full capacity, what are these things, the size of a super Walmart with that many employees, or is there 10 bazillion people in there? It's another thing. Okay, so that's that. Rand Paul chewed out Fauci. Fauci has connection to the virology lab. There's still a possibility, now, a scenario that it did come from a lab. It's a possibility. It's not a conspiracy theory. Not a conspiracy theory. And until we find out what was the intermediate host between the bat and the human, we won't be able to settle this. Until we know more about what happened in Wuhan and why Fauci got rid of the gain of function, or pushed to eliminate the gain of function stopgaps that were being placed to stop this type of behavior in the very place that the dang virus came from, then we'll never know the truth, will we? But knowing the truth is redundant, right? If we can't get this under control and it keeps mutating like this, where's the end game to this? We just lost, per 36, 40 people, 40 test samples, which is nothing. Well, they're trying to put this out today to make it better. We don't know to a point how much immunity or how much of your ability to fight the virus with the vaccine is being limited. Now it reduces it by 7-fold. It actually reduces it 20% after 60 days, 50 days. 2 out of 10 people, their vaccination was useless. The other study I read to you guys in the last video, it's 67% ineffectiveness or loss of the ability to fight because of the vaccine, and 50% if you had the actual virus that wasn't the India triple mutant variant strain. Now, we wish that we would have had a president that would have said, let's stop all flights from India and that general facility. Let's just shut it all down. As soon as this double variant came out, we should have stopped it. We should have said, okay, flights in and out. Nobody from India, nobody's been in India in the past 60 days or 30 days is allowed in the United States. That would have been the number one thing to do. Because what is China doing right now? That very thing. They're making everybody quarantine. They're not allowing anybody from India's right next to China. Sorry, my gray hair's getting in my face. So, they're trying to take care of what's happening in their country. But China, who hasn't missed a beat during this entire outbreak since the very beginning? China. China has been doing great. They have gotten everything back up and running. They're not signing trillion-dollar fiat fake theft currency of the tune of $19 trillion. We're worried about 9 million Americans out of work right now that they're collecting unemployment. I'd worry more about the fact that they still don't have the virus anywhere, under any circumstances, under control. They don't even have an idea. We allowed a third world country with 1.5 billion people, we don't even know, it might be 1.2 billion people, to get a variant or a mass amount of mutations, and in 2 variants, and now a 3rd variant. Now they got 3 together, and apparently I can't see it related to the other variants from UK, Brazil, or South Africa. Doesn't sound like they're the same thing. This new triple mutation or mutant strain is not the same thing. So we've allowed India, because I was watching India in the beginning, they were doing great. First the pandemic, they were fine. They didn't have many problems. A few deaths. It was kind of causing. These are Hindus. These people are always together doing stuff in mass groups. So of course it's going to break out. But of course we're going to allow that population to grow what? A mutant strain that we don't want. So anyway, thanks for watching 45 News Utah. This is the end of the COVID-19 marathon tonight. I got to go see what my dogs are barking at and tell them that they cannot be barking at strangers because I'm trying to do a newscast from Free America Free Press downstairs. I greatly appreciate you guys watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and please support this channel. Share with your friends. And I hope I don't lose any friends over this. You guys are great people. I have a lot of friends in this town and across the state. I've met some very awesome people. This is for you. This is for me. It's for our future. Anyway, thanks for watching 45 News Utah. I'll talk to you later.